2 days in, and a roller coaster. A lot of things yesterday that weren't good enough, that were disappointing a little bit, and the entire team, particularly the defense, really battled back today and had a good day. But I just talked to the guys. There's adversity in day one for certain guys and certain units. There's adversity in day two. That's what camp's all about. And they got to keep preparing and keep working through the adversity for the improvement.
I saw you pretty fired up, pretty energetic. How big is that to resonate with the team, to show them that, hey, they're not in this alone, but you guys as coaches are ready for them to get moving and get started here?
Yeah, I do think, player-led teams are the ones that have the best chance to really go the long haul, but the energy and the enthusiasm, it starts with us. If we come out there flat, it's hard to expect them to bring it. So that's just kind of who we are as coaches. That's important to me in the hiring process, that there's going to be guys that can bring the juice.
What was your point of contention with the team yesterday?
Just non-competitive, something that we've really emphasized and we've made strides in, but we've got to compete in everything we do. And we were allowing them to knock balls out and not really, challenging for the catch. We were allowing them to get open and not drive on the route and contest a catch. I mean, just the will and the determination to win the rep. And it was so much better today.
From a coaching perspective, more important, newcomers or returners? Are those guys equally important, especially with a new staff?
Yeah, everybody right now. I look at the 110 that are in camp, and everybody's got to bring value. I'm all over the 110th guy. He's over there giving a look, and he's got a weak bag he's holding, and he's not doing what he's supposed to, or he's not in the right spot. I mean, he's got to be accountable to what's asked of him.
Where do you think this team is in terms of retention from what you left off in the spring and what you hope to accomplish over the summer?
Yeah, I think we've made strides there, particularly on offense. I was very pleased yesterday with the operation and the grasp, and I thought the quarterbacks threw the ball really well yesterday. They knew where things were going to be, and we'll know a little bit more just even today. When you get some tempo going in a team period, and that's when the defense has to operate with composure. The offense has to operate with composure when the bullets are really flying. So we'll know a little bit more about that tomorrow.
Do you get a little more juice in those linebacker, running back drills? Do you go into old habits when you're watching that? It looked like you were quite into that.
I think I just happened to fall into that one. I don't know. Obviously, that's close to me. So
The wide receivers seem to get better separation in the one-on-ones than we saw all spring today. Is that something you've noticed on film from yesterday, or kind of summer workouts, that the receivers have made some strides going forward?
I think they have made strides. I think Coach Mine just done a great job. There's talent in that unit. They just got to start checking boxes on areas that they got to get better at. There's talent, and I do think they're improving. That group needs to have a great camp.
With the center depth, you seem to have more scholarship guys with some of the summer enrollees. Are you happy now to have kind of those extra options at center?
Absolutely. Across the board on the O-line. Xavier, Johnny, all those guys. I think those young guys do bring some depth, and as they continue to grow and develop, maybe it's not for the beginning of the season, but maybe it's week 4, week 6, when all of a sudden you need somebody. If they keep growing and developing, I think they've got a chance.
You look at the size of some of these freshmen. You see Chaplin out there, Lamar Law, Malachi Madison. Do you feel pretty comfortable with where they are physically, that maybe that wouldn't be a deterrent from keeping them on the field this year?
I like the group, and size is certainly part of it. Again, I go back to it. They have to be emotionally adjusted, socially adjusted, academically adjusted. They have to know the playbook. So just because they look good in their pads certainly doesn't equal that they can play as a freshman. It's just part of it.
But sometimes that seems like a disqualifier for those guys in the trenches.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they have to have that piece of it up front.
Coach, talk a little bit about, on your staff, a lot of former Virginia Tech players and people that are very connected to the program. Talk about the value of having former players and even coaches that know what it's like to be a part of Virginia Tech football.
Yeah, when you just talk about being able to tell your story, and it's real and it's genuine and they can relate to it. When those guys get up, JC, Pilo, Xavier, Goove, and they say, I've walked in your shoes, I've sat in these seats, it just means that much more. So very, very valuable. And those are the right guys. We've got the right guys here that, have done this thing under Coach Beamer and Coach Foster I'm super excited that they're with us.
As far as the guys who have changed positions back in the spring, how do you think that they've started to kind of adapt to those new roles?
Yeah, the guy that stands out the most to me is Keontae Jenkins. He's a long guy, really good speed, particularly when you move him from safety to linebacker. He's got a lot of DB qualities, and he's learning the linebacker traits that are going to be necessary. But the spot he plays for us is kind of a hybrid. He's got to have both sets of, in his toolbox. So he's the guy that I'm most excited about as far as position changes.
You like Jaden Keller coming out of the spring. How's he taking a step forward in the summer, and where do you see him fitting in on that other side of linebacker?
Yeah, right now he's certainly in competition for the will linebacker spot. He is a beautiful-looking young man. I mean, he's really had a great summer, just changing his body and looking lean and fast. And he plays, when he knows what he's doing, he plays as fast as anybody on the defense. So he's got a real shot.
This is your first fall camp as a head coach. What went into the structure, day by day, week by week, setting it up? Just obviously late afternoon practices, different than maybe early morning practices like you have in the past.
Yeah, the schedule, that was a daily chore. Coach Hazel, Travis Taylor, Jake, all those guys. I mean, we wanted to maximize our days and do what's right for our football team and right for our staff. I want it to go in the afternoons. I want it to be hot. I want it to be hard. And I told the guys that. So, and that's part of the plan. And I think we've got a real good plan. We're going to make adjustments when we need to. We're going to be evaluating things daily and having staff discussions about adjustments and things that need to happen.
How much install are you guys doing right now?
Yeah, we're installing every day.
Is it in the morning or when like?
And we meet with the guys 3 times a day. So there's installation that happens in the morning, and then a little bit more in the afternoon, and then the nights are mostly spent evaluating the film.
Going up the schedule a little bit, what do you, as a coach, hope to accomplish the most in the first week of camp? Is there anything that you definitely want to tick off your list of accomplishments for this?
Yeah, I think seeing competitive days like today, competitive periods. The defense really got after him in the first scale, and I was so glad to see the offense battle back in the second scale. Those are the things that I'm looking for. And then individual growth and development. Just guys that you hope are taking that next step and can factor in for you. You want those guys to emerge in week 1 so you can start getting them the reps that are necessary.
You announced some summer awards. I think I don't know what the exact title was, but what went into that to give those guys for the summer program sort of distinction over the rest of the team?
Yeah, that's Coach Galton and his staff. They have ownership in that, tremendous. I mean, they do a great job. They wanted to award certain guys for certain areas of improvement or growth or accomplishment. Those guys work so hard all summer. It's no different than at the end of the season, and you've got all conference awards and MVP awards and all these things. At the end of that phase, at the end of the summer, there needs to be recognition for the guys that really excelled.
Coach, what have you seen kind of that second open defensive end spot across from Taiwan in the first few days of camp?
It's going to be competitive. We've got some great candidates. It's hard for the linemen in 2 days of just spiders to really get a good evaluation. But I like the guys we've got there. We've got a chance right now to have 4, possibly 5. Who ends up in the lineup, we'll see.
We're going to talk to Chamari in a minute. He's a guy that's been in this program for a long time. What does he bring from, especially a leadership standpoint, to you in that defense?
I don't know that there's a more well-rounded player in our program. He's mature, he's smart, he's tough, he works, he's talented. He keeps getting better. He's not satisfied where he's at. He's a team player. To me, he's ultimate captain material.